A very good afternoon, dear students. And today I am going to explain you a very important poem of class 12, Aunt Jennifer's Tiger. And this poem is written by Adrienne Rich. She is a very famous American poetess. Now, what she has written in this poem, the explanation line by line. Aunt Jennifer's tiger spans across the screen. Aunt Jennifer, she is a lady, and what she is making here, she is making embroidery. She is doing an embroidery on a cloth. And what she is making the picture of some tigers. Some tigers are there and they are prancing. They are jumping, they are moving here and there on the screen, on the cloth where she is making this embroidery. Bright topaz denizens of a world of green, and how they are looking like? They are looking like topaz. What is topaz? Topaz is a bright yellow color stone. It means whatever the tigers are there, their color is bright yellow. They are looking like bright yellow. They are of bright yellow color, and they are the denizens. It means they are the citizen. They are the citizens of this world of green. Means what? Green forest. World of green means green forest. It seems like that they are the citizens of this green forest. Means the picture actually it is depicting something like that. That whatever the tigers are there, they are moving here and there in the forest, and the forest is their house. They are the local citizens of this forest. They do not fear the man with a tree. And in the picture, a tree is there. With the tree, some men are there. But this tiger, they are quite fearless. They are quite bold, brave. And that's why whatever the men are there, they are not feeling fearful with this man. On the contrary, if you see the nature and behavior of this lady, Aunt Jennifer, she is quite fearful and she is quite timid lady. She is a very submissive lady. The patients like Chevrolet subtlety. They are moving here and there in the forest. And how they are looking like? They are of very shiny color and they are looking quite elegant. The tigers, they are moving here and there in the picture, and how they are looking like? They are of very shiny color and they are looking quite elegant. Now we'll discuss about the poetic devices here. If you see the second line, topaz. Topaz means what? A bright yellow stone classy here. Topaz has been compared with the bright yellow stone, and that's why here the poetic device is metaphor. See the third and fourth line. They and they has been repeated 2 times. Poetic device anaphora is there. Now see the second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool. When she is making this embroidery on the wool, on the cloth actually, woolen clothes which she has, her fingers are fluttering, her fingers are shaking. And why that is shaking? They are shaking with the fear of her husband. Her fingers are shaking, fluttering. Find even the ivory needle hard to pull, and that's why it is very difficult for the aunt to pull the ivory needle. Though the weight of the needle is nothing, that is very small needle. But because the aunt is feeling very fearful, and that's why it is very difficult for the aunt to pull the ivory needle. The meaning of that class here, whatever the aunt is doing in her house, aunt's husband is not aware about that, and is a very strict type of man, a very rude nature. If aunt's husband would come to know about that aunt is doing this type of work in the house, he would become very angry, and aunt knows about this, and that's why her fingers are fluttering when she is doing the embroidery work, because somewhere secretly classy she is doing this work. And her husband, he is not aware about that. If the husband would come to know, he would become very angry about it. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band. And now here in the finger of aunt, a ring is there class, and how aunt is feeling. The aunt is feeling that the weight of this ring that is quite heavy sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand class here. The ring is there in the finger of aunt, and aunt is feeling that that's quite heavy. The meaning of this line is that aunt is bound by so many rule regulations class. Rule regulations made by her husband and made by the society. It means aunt is something like the personal property of her husband. She is something like the servant class here, her husband, and that's why whatever the husband will do, only those work aunt has to do. And that's why here, whatever the ring she has in her hand, she is feeling that she is quite heavy. It means she is bound by so many rule regulations made by her husband, and her husband is a very oppressive man. If we talk about the poetic devices here, see fingers fluttering, repetition of F and F, alliteration, again alliteration is there in the first line, fluttering fingers. Now see the last 4 lines, the aunt is dead. Now finally the aunt is dead here in the last line, last stanza. Her terrified hands will lie, and her terrified hand, and whatever the terrified hand she has or she had class here when she was alive, that is lied, that is laid on the ground, still ringed with ordeals, and still the ring is there in her hand class. Whatever the hand, whatever the finger, whatever the ring she got as a gift in her wedding, still the ring is there in her hand class. And which is the ordeal actually, which is the symbol of what? This is a symbol of quite, a life class here which she led, that is very strict life. She exercised a life class here that was full of discipline, that was a very strict life, and still class after her death she is not free. Still class here as life is bound by so many rule regulations class here, the rule regulation made by her husband. Means after her death class here, she is not free. Was mastered by, means all her life class here she followed this rule regulation. Actually, and still the regulations are there in her life after her, even after her death. The tigers in the panel that she met. But what were the tigers she had met class here in the panel when she was alive? So what were the tiger class here she met in the panel? They go on prancing. They are moving class here in the panel. They are moving in the forest. How? They are moving with the jumping actually. They are jumping and moving. Prancing class here. This is style of the tiger. Are you getting that? This is the style of walking class here. They are jumping and they are moving. And how they are looking like? They are looking like quite proud and afraid. And whatever the tigers are there, they are feeling quite proud and unafraid class here. They are quite bold and quite brave. They are not like Aunt Jennifer class here. They are totally different from Aunt Jennifer, the picture she has met in her painting when she was alive. And now if we talk about the poetic devices here, see prancing and proud here, the last line class here, repetition of P and P, again alliteration is there. If we talk about the rhyming scheme of this poem, see the first four stanza, first stanza, the four lines, the last word we have to see class here is green and green, both have the same sound here, A, and tree and certainty, both have the same sound here, the B and B, the sound is B and B here, the sound we have something like this, A, B class here, A, B, and that is the rhyme scheme of this poem. Thank you so much for the day class here. Tomorrow again we will see the different poem. Thank you so much.